Ohana is the map. It's a map that we've really come to love over the course of our season. It's been very, very balanced across all matchups, and PVT no different. I think it's 8-7 right now in favor of Protoss after 15 games.
Yep. Ryung is our Korean Terran spawning in the left top side of this map, and of course HerO is our Korean Protoss spawning on the right bottom side of this map. And Ben, interestingly enough, they played on Ohana earlier this season, and it was a very fun game. HerO went for Nexus first, followed up by the Forge, and Ryung went for that went for a no gas fast expand, and then a really super quick push. Ryung was actually the player spawning at the bottom, and he made a super quick push with a couple of tanks and marines, and he had that contain here, but HerO had that cannon over here from the Forge, and HerO just waited. He waited for charge, he waited for Immortals, and every time Ryung tried to get closer, HerO would pick up a marine or whatever, and eventually Ryung just decided, okay, this is just taking too long. I feel that if it's going to take any more, if it's going to take any longer, I'm just going to get crushed, and if I'm going to unsiege everything, I'm going to get crushed. So Ryung just evacuated the sort of pseudo 1-1-1, but then out of 2 bases, which was really weird. But it was a great game, but then eventually both players went up to 3 bases. It was sort of even, but HerO attacked barely before Ryung had Ghost, and a couple of key storms killed all the Marines and allowed HerO to take those series 2-0.
Could be seeing a similar opening out of HerO, as he has not built anything at this point in the game, and he is saving up for what looks to be a Nexus first, so at least that much will be the same. Ryung is also gasless, working on that first rack, so that is also looking pretty similar.
For everybody who just tuned in, we are casting the NASL playoffs today. 5 people are going to make it to Toronto. So far, 3 players made it already. They played yesterday. The players are Alicia, Puzzle, and MC, so that means that we have 3 Korean Protosses so far. The first Korean Terran is almost supposed to make it, or is close to making it, but all he has to do, and I would say has between brackets, man, is take one more map of HerO.
And as simple a task as that may seem, it is actually quite difficult. HerO is a true titan in esports. He's a favorite amongst the fans. Of course, the Liquid Protoss player, showing a lot of personality in the recently released Liquid Rising documentary. I've seen many photos of HerO on Reddit saying this is why HerO's a boss, and they're all different. My favorite one, the one where he's standing outside of the airport with a $20,000 check.
From the NASL
smoking a cigarette. Yep.
You know, I don't know if this is a coincidence or not, but I noticed that a lot of Protoss players, they always wear cool pants. Like, I've seen HerO at a lot of events, and I thought, like, wow, really cool jeans. And of course, there is bling. I mean, nobody has cooler pants than
bling. Bling is the king of cool pants. Yes. I have to admit to that.
Yeah, but HerO always has cool jeans. Just take a note, but next time you see HerO, take a look at his jeans. He always has very cool jeans. Just Protoss players, man. Fashionable guys.
I think the Koreans in general are very fashion forward.
Ryung is going to make a small poke over here with 2 Marines, which he's running across the map. And he's going to go once more, man, for that quick 3 command center stall. This time he's going to build it in his base. And I don't mind it at all, because I think it's a pretty good start. It's going to force him to be defensive for quite a while, because everything is delayed. The medevacts are going to be later. Stimpack is going to be later. But if you just throw this in one of the 5 games, I think this is a really good style. And you can really overrun your opponent with just a massive economy. Unlike how Cass used to do it. Cass used to do this 5 games. Wow, can HerO see that? I think HerO saw it. Wow, that's actually kind of sloppy by Ryung.
So that opens up some options for HerO. Kev, you said one of the all-ins that you sometimes like to do after Nexus first is to go 8-gate. Is that something that you could see HerO doing here?
6 or 7 gate maybe. Yeah, it is possible, but I don't think HerO is going to do it. It's so risky to do something like that when your tournament life is on the line. And I think HerO is confident enough to take it into late game. And he's just such a good Protoss player. And HerO always strikes me as one of those guys that he feels the longer the game goes on, the better it gets.
He's just going to go take a 3rd base. I say that as a couple of Zealots are going to poke up the ramp and chase these Marines around. Ryung's going to control it well and should be just fine. Just doing some dancing, pops into that bunker, and he's going to be completely safe. And
well, only lost 1 Marine and picked off 2 Zealots. Very well done by Ryung.
And HerO is just going to take a fast 3rd base. 6-minute 3rd base from Protoss upon scouting that 3rd command center.
Yeah, but that's kind of how Ryung, the Korean Protoss player who lives in Germany, used to answer to this whenever he played against Cass, and Cass kept doing it. If you know your opponent is doing it, you might be able to get away with something like this. Ryung is going to get this scout up. Man, Ryung's scouting is so excellent this series, man. I'm really impressed.
And he's going to... And now, like we said, that HerO could potentially try to exploit some timings against the fast 3 command center. Now we've got a situation where Ryung could try to do the same against this fast 3 Nexus build. And
it's so sick. I mean, it all looks so simple, but it's really not simple to keep SCVs around on the map and get the scouting information all the time that Ryung is getting. I'm really impressed by the way that he's getting it.
I agree, man. We often say that the hallmark of a great player is good scouting. It's pretty. I mean, it's not easy, but it is pretty elementary to just go through the motions and to work out the mechanics and to learn the builds and to just say, okay, I'm going to do this and this and this and this, and I can win a lot of games because this build's good, right? Yeah. Or I'm going to do this and this and this and this, and I can win a lot of games because I have good micro or good macro. But the thing that really separates guys at the very, very top level is their ability to scout and to react to what the other guy is doing. And Ryung is showing an excellent, excellent understanding of that.
Ryung tried to take control of this like a watchtower, but HerO paid very good attention. He's going to pick off 2 Marines, actually. And Ben, I'm really obsessed with this bunker. Why does our bunker says BlizzCon 2011?
What?
Yeah.
Where do you see BlizzCon 2011?
In the middle of the bunker.
Whoa. It's a BlizzCon bunker. You got to zoom in on that, Kev.
How?
Here, can we just see it my screen for just a second? Can we do that, Kylie? Can you show my screen? No, she can't.
It's not important, Ben. But yes, the bunker says BlizzCon, which I'm
oh, there it is. There it is. There's the BlizzCon bunker. You guys can see it. Kind of cool. How about that? Back on Kev's screen where we can see the real action as HerO is just working on that third base. That is really neat. Good catch. The BlizzCon bunker. I've never seen that before.
No, me neither. Ryung's going to throw up this missile turret as well, just in case he's going to have to deal with Dark Templars once more. HerO is already getting Twilight Console, or I mean, he's already getting Blink from the Twilight Console. Starts working on these rocks. Can make it a little bit easier for him to deal with drops later on, so he doesn't have to worry on units all the way around. Even though when you have Blink, you can blink around, but it's always easy to take out these rocks when you play against Terran. HerO is getting a lot of pylons up all around the map. It's going to make it very easy for him to eventually perhaps intercept units, spot drops, or just be annoying and harass a little bit. Look, the orbital command says BlizzCon 2011 too. What is this? Everything says BlizzCon 2011.
Yeah, we can take a shot of that on my screen if you want to see that one too,
No,
guys.
we don't, Ben.
Well, Kev continues looking
Look, the
around the map.
starboard says BlizzCon 2011.
BlizzCon 2011 anywhere. This is Terran BlizzCon 2011. Unbelievable.
Double Forge is on the way for HerO right now as well. HerO has a small supply lead, but of course Ryung is going to be the player with an insane economy, even though HerO did a fantastic job at chrono boosting out a ton of probes. It's kind of insane how he's up 68 probes already, 10 minutes into this game. Double Forge, as I mentioned before, on the way. Ryung is going to spot this bunker. Ryung is supply blocked quite often, Ben. If I have to, for all his excellent scouting, that's something that he could have worked on perhaps a little bit and prevent. I think he just used the call down for supply depots somewhere. BlizzCon 2011, everything.
It's becoming a little bit distracting, Kev. As we got a little bit of a skirmish here in the middle of the map. As HerO's just managed to catch a few of Ryung's units in an awkward position.
I'm going to have to do it one more time, Ben. Even on the shields of the Terran units, it says BlizzCon.
No.
Yes.
The shields? It does! Unbelievable! Look at Billy the Marine with a BlizzCon shield.
It's not that important, man. What is important is this big push from HerO. 1-1 is not ready yet, but Ryung knows this is going to be tough to defend. The Guardian Shield is activated right now. A ton of Blink Stalkers.
Yeah, pulling a lot of SCVs is Ryung. He knows that this is a pivotal moment in this game. HerO pouring on some heavy pressure. Good force fields going down.
It's going to lift up the Orbiter. I don't think this is a fight that Ryung could possibly win, even though there is no charge.
It's not a fight he could possibly win. Look at how much more stuff HerO has. Ryung trying to micro well.
Actually, he allowed himself some space. More medevac streaming in. These Marauders are really ripping through the Stalkers right now.
With the Zealous and the Sentries gone, HerO needs to back up to his reinforcements. Maybe sticking around a little bit too long. 106 supply to 110, still pretty close.
But suddenly Ryung is up 20 army supply. Kind of a similar situation as in Antigua. For a second it looked really great for HerO, but if the units are so spread out, if the concave is really nice for Terran, then Blink Stalkers, they all just kind of do damage over time. As silly as it sounds, they all do kind of a little bit of damage to Marauder, but they don't pick off the Marauders one by one, and that's really what you need when you have Blink Stalkers against Stimmed Bio. Otherwise you just take a ton of damage and you're just tickling the Marauders, which are getting healed all the time.
Ryung is actually pushing forward pretty aggressively. Marauders also have BlizzCon 2011 on their shoulder pads, Kev. And Ryung still pushing forward, scanning, sees the natural of HerO, and is going to be bearing down on that third base. HerO doesn't really have any good splash damage.
This looks really tough for HerO, Ben. Charge is not ready and Storm is not ready. Ryung could have seen this right now with the factory. He can probably see the Twilight Council is getting Chrono Boost and he could check the Zealots, their movement speed. Man, this is such a tough position for HerO. If he survives, if he comes through this without taking too much damage, he's going to be fine. But, well, there's a lot of Zealots. If only Storm was ready.
I mean, Charge was ready. Storm and Charge both seconds away from completion. Supplies virtually.
Well, I think that Ryung is waiting too long, Ben.
He's kind of missing his window, and he might even realize it as he is backing off now.
I think if Ryung would have really pushed the issue there, I think he could have potentially taken out HerO's army. Now HerO's army is going to be pretty much twice as strong, since A, there is Storm, and B, there is Charge, and we have 22 Zealots on the map. Now Ryung will spot the fact that there is indeed Charge, as you can see a couple of Zealots making their way over to the other side of the map. 2-2 is almost ready for Ryung, same can be said for HerO. It's kind of surprising how well Ryung is doing in the upgrade wars against HerO throughout the entire series.
Man, everything says BlizzCon. Depots, Ghost Academy, Barracks. Another fight in this little small fight down here on the southern part of the map. Single Marauder getting chopped up, but Ryung managing to kill a handful of Protoss units.
Yeah, HerO tries to take control of the Xel'Naga Watchtower once more. He wants to see if this is an army that he can take. And I think if the Zealots, if they swarm the army well, he could have taken it. But why would you fight when 2-2 is going to be ready within 20 seconds?
You know, one thing Ryung's doing well, though, Kevs, he's continuing to expand. He's got a 4th command center coming up, and that's going to be well ahead of HerO's. His Ghost Academy's done. He's got 4 Ghosts about to pop out. That'll help. But, I mean, HerO's army is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and he's working on +3 upgrades now.
Feedbacks. Well, there's not that much energy on these two medevacs. Nice warp in as well with all those charge ults, and I think HerO is going to be more than just fine. Meanwhile, Ryung is perhaps using this to improve his position, but I don't think he can take this army. I think this army is too strong from HerO right now.
Definitely needs to have some ghosts with his army if he's going to hope to fight that. There's a single ghost making his way forward. He's going to turn around, realizing that he doesn't want to be there. Drop still hasn't quite been cleaned up. These medevacs and upgraded Marauders doing a great job. And actually, every unit that HerO had there to deal with that does die. He's forced to warp in some more reinforcements. Zealots will finally deal with these Marauders.
This time they will. 3-3 is on the way for HerO. HerO sending a couple of charge ults over here on the right top side of this map. Ryung wants to do something about this fort base of HerO, and HerO is kind of out of position. But he is able to trap these units.
He's going to trap the army. So, HerO's position.
Snipe.
Yes, he does snipe the Templar, but here we go. We are going to have a pretty... No, HerO just dancing around. He doesn't want to fight. Good Storm goes down. Dealing some solid damage on this bio.
Wow, look at those medevacs.
Yeah, medevacs all falling. Neither of these guys really wanting to commit to a fight. Ryung down at 150 supply against 180. A lot of very, very intense army movement here around the map. HerO just takes a new expand down in the bottom right, but there's a Marine there. He can see it over his BlizzCon shield.
This Zealot man is quite a hero, as he took out 8 SCVs, now takes out a Marine as well. Ryung lost a lot of SCVs in that process, but I would even say right now we're getting close to the stage where maybe that's not everything anymore. As soon as he's able to max out, he still has a little bit of a bank, and he has 52 SCVs. He's going to be on triple orbit, or he is on triple orbital, maybe even 4, or the next base is going to be planetary, which I wouldn't mind either at all. So I can't blame him too much. We have another engagement going on over here. Ghost in good position.
Yep,
man, this game is spiraling out of control.
Storm being used on a single Marauder. High Templar stays alive. The Marauder falls, but that was still some wasted energy.
Man, there's just mini fights going on everywhere.
Yeah, there really are skirmishes at every corner of the map.
There goes that base, and that base actually got upgraded to an orbital as well. So Ryung is going to be on quadruple orbital, and with 52 SCVs, he's going to be more than fine. I would even say he's getting close to the stage where he could lose a few more.
Ryung's rallies are messed up, man. He's got units going everywhere.
I mean,
a handful of Marines going to make it over here to the third base.
Oh, this is a real suicidal Marine. He just had enough. I've seen too many ZVZs in my life. A lot of Zealots over here from HerO on the right side of the map, and if Ryung is not going to pay attention, he's going to lose a few bio units that he has over there. On the same moment, HerO again taking control of the Xel'Naga Watchtower. This is sort of starting to become a little bit of a chess game as well, Ben. Who said only TVTs can be like chess games?
HerO's turning this into an advantage, Kev. He's taking 2 bases now. So it's going to be a 5-base HerO against a 4-base Ryung.
High Templar.
Unless Ryung can cancel this base, he's a little scared of these Templar.
Yep, can't blame him. One feedback did go off. A couple of Zealots will be taken out.
HerO's entire army moving into position to intercept this. There's a ghost, or a couple of ghosts looking. Cloak goes down. Can he land the big EMPs? It lands him on top of some Templar. Actually, all the Templar getting EMP'd there, Kev. Oh, the Templar from the expansion coming back. They're going to drop some storms. Archon's falling pretty quickly, but this doesn't look like a terrible fight for HerO. He's still got a lot of Zealots and a great engagement as the Zealots charge in and the Stalkers blink forward, and every one of Ryung's units is going to get cleaned up there, and HerO all of a sudden up 50 supply, up a base. Ryung looks hopeless now.
Yeah, that was just fantastic by HerO. As you said, man, units came from every direction, and meanwhile in the main base he warped in, I believe, 2 additional robotics facilities. I think this orbiter will fall. There's no saving this one. Ryung, you're not actually going to try to save this orbiter. Well, he's going to scan, and he's going to see there are a ton of observers as well. Ooh, force fields. Oh, poor Marauder, man.
Yeah, poor Marauder indeed. Ryung trying to hang in there, but HerO just crushing forward with more and more units, and it looks like he is absolutely hitting his stride here in games 3 and 4 as Ryung battered back yet again. That expansion completely abandoned at this point.
Actually, I think Ryung might be able to make a final hold there. As soon as those Zealots are gone, those Marauders will be able to take out all these Stalkers. No. Ryung threw down 2-3 scans in that big fight. He wanted to take out all the observers, but HerO very good. He had like 2 or 3 observers with the army, so he forced Ryung to move to use a couple of scans, and he wasn't even able to pick them off immediately. So what Ryung tried to do was very smart. He had Cloak Ghost, he wants to take out the detection, but HerO had his observers pretty well controlled, and he had more than just one observer, which was crucial there as well.
Yes,
pretty crazy game. Army supply ban, it's once again quite close, but Ryung doesn't know, like Scotty didn't know about this Colossus switch.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the in my opinion, this is the most brutal tech switch in the game of StarCraft. When your opponent is gearing up to deal with,
he's making a ton of ghosts, and then suddenly
exactly, and Ryung is completely unaware of this. He's down 50 supply in spite of the fact that the army supplies are close-ish.
Oh, yeah.
He's just kind of re-secured that 4th base, but I mean, HerO's in a absolutely commanding position, and now with these Colossi, there's 4 of them out, Kev.
Yeah, that's crazy. And we had 2 Vikings on the map. Even those 2 Vikings somehow somewhere fell down, so there's not a single Viking on the map. And I actually think that HerO, this is HerO's game to lose right now. As you said, man, he's on 5 base. He also has vision over here on the left side of the map. He's going to warp in a couple of Zealots, maybe rally them in the natural, take out a couple of BlizzCon bunkers, and he's going to. It's looking great.
It's looking absolutely excellent. HerO maxed out. It's going to crush forward once again. There's not a single Viking on the map, and that means there is no answer to these Colossi. The bio of Ryung is absolutely hopeless against this Protoss army, in spite of the concave. No storms going down, but the Archons, the Colossi.
So much. Ryung dropping a couple of Mews because he knows it's over. Big warp in, followed by HerO as well. HerO takes game number 4.
Ties up the series 2-2 now. And the BlizzCon units, as it so happens, are not as good as regular units.
Why, man?
Not going to make that joke.
No, I know where you want to go there. Pretty crazy game by HerO. Once more, I think the opening was kind of crazy. Really excellent scouting by both these guys. HerO getting the probe up the ramp, even though the supply depot was raised. Big mistake, in my opinion, by Ryung. Sorry, Gunzi plays later today against Hawk, so if you guys want to see that, you have to stick around. But big mistake by Ryung, building that orbital or that 3rd base so close to the ramp, because that's a building that HerO was never supposed to see until he gets the first observer in the base. And then are we talking 7 minutes, 7 minute 30, and that's a long time that HerO is actually right now able to chrono boost out probes and probes and probes, drops that 3rd nexus way before he normally would have, because suddenly he realized that Ryung is not going to be able to put any pressure on him. I think that was a big mistake by Ryung. For the rest of the game, I think it was an excellent TVP, but the first real big engagement, which took a little while, HerO just once more with brilliant patience, just a little bit of a chess game, trying to pull him out of position all the time, warping in units left and right, and that's just often the difference, you know, like you see your good Protoss players and everybody is able to macro up, get a reasonable army, figure out what's a good engagement or not, but often on a certain moment you just always feel like, okay, I gotta go for it, you know, like if I don't do something right now with HerO, he just waits and waits and waits, and then on the ultimate moment he really crushes his opponent.
He played some great StarCraft, Kev, and that end game transition into the Colossi was all he needed to close it out. Ties up the series 2-2 now. Final game's going to be on Cloud Kingdom. Guys, stick around. Game number 5, HerO versus Ryung, when we get back.